Angels.
Happy. And just like that, they did that. Returns.
We're back.
We're back in the stew, ready to talk our favorite girlies and theys and all the above.
Our favorite girlies and least favorite they.
I know.
I also didn't realize how long it's been since we've dropped like a proper episode.
A proper?
I got so sidetracked by being on tour that I said sorry dolls to literally everyone.
We've had a crazy month.
Yeah,
we had a whirlwind.
insane.
We had a lot of traveling. It's hard to do things when you're on the road. So we're back. We're stationary. We're back in our home turf. We're ready to go.
Back for now.
Back for now.
And recording like our fucking lives depend on it, which they do.
They do. Do you want to just get into it?
We can get into it because there's a lot to
cover.
Discuss. And
I'm Carrie.
I'm Lara.
And you're listening to
Sexy Unique Podcast.
They did that. Episode 5, Trick or Treat. Tricks or Treat.
Okay, question off the bat.
It's Halloween.
It's Halloween.
We're just deciding.
It literally was just summer.
I kind of appreciate the time jumps.
Because they're just trying to now catch us up to present day.
Yeah, so I'm just going to assume that there's like things that will just be in one episode and not the other, and we'll just be like, oh, it just fizzled away during that time. And I'm like, okay with that. I'm at a point now where I'm like, if one of them is not with someone anymore, like if Miranda and Che are just not together in the next episode, I'll be like, okay, great. They broke up in like the last 6 months and we just skip that. I'm good with that.
You're accepting of the continuity.
Yeah. I mean,
vibes.
this show is so, it's like so out of, it's like so AI at this point that I'm like, I'm fine with it.
I'm really weirded out by the fact that they keep recycling people that played one role.
Oh yeah, that is weird.
In the universe of the show, and then having them show up again.
George.
I'm like, is this intentional? Is it just a complete lack of oversight? Is it?
I think it's intentional, but I think it's just like they're not. I think they thought it was going to be one. I think they thought it was going to like
be a sleigh,
be like an Easter egg, and instead people were like, wait, no, that's the guy that Charlotte talked to.
It's so weird.
Right? Isn't that George played the Jewish guy she talks to?
Yeah, I think so. I know that he was in before because I recognized him and I was like, oh, this guy's back. I couldn't place him off the top of my head, but I was thrown. And this is the second time they've done this. And I know they did it once with Justin Theroux in the original Sex and the City, but that's Justin Theroux. And that was the 90s doll.
He's a chameleon.
And also that was like 9/11 era. You could really do things. There were time jumps abound, but this is like, is this just post-COVID television?
Maybe it's leading up to that. It's the whole series, including Sex and the City, has all been like a dream that Carrie had.
That'd be kind of tight.
And like like she's been in a coma, and this is like her coma dream.
Mm-hmm.
And she wakes up and she's like living in like Paterson, New Jersey. Or like upstate New York.
She wakes up.
She's in Albany.
She wakes up, but she's really just who is that woman that they kept on life support for ages, and it was like a huge fight about like what to do with her?
Terry Schiavo.
Yeah.
She wakes up and she's Anthony. Anthony, by the way,
it's like a gay bad dream. A gay's bad dream.
The gay hell that Anthony endures
knows no bounds.
Like, I'm sorry. It's Halloween and he's at a PTA bash. So they go to LTW's having like a big... Well, first they wake up...
I thought Charlotte was having the big. Or was it LTW's big?
Both of them. They wake up at Che's apartment. They are in Hudson Yards. Confirmed. And it's 5 a.m. and the alarm goes off on Miranda's phone and she's like, shit. And then Che goes, oh, could you just turn your phone off? I only went to bed an hour ago.
Why?
Well, you're in your 40s and you're like rocking till the sunrise. Like, you need to grow up and get help.
You're fucking crazy if you're 46 years old and you're staying up till 4 a.m.
partying.
That's not normal.
And then Miranda's like...
That's also like really bad for your health and like your sleep.
I think Che is self-medicating.
Che is is like a derelict addict predator.
Che's like, why are you up so early? And Miranda's like, I have to go home before I go to class. I have to go home and make breakfast. I have to go breastfeed my incel.
My
because
adult incel son.
If he doesn't get mommy's milk by noon, he's going to go shoot up a Dwayne Reed. And so Che's like, oh man, like, can't you just let it slide? And like, and then Miranda's like, no, because if I don't do it, no, Steve and Brady don't know how to feed themselves. Where Steve, by the way, gone again.
Gone girl.
So
Steve's wandering the streets, eating pizza out of garbage cans. And honestly, Miranda, if your son doesn't know how to feed himself and your husband also, or ex-husband also doesn't, like, that's kind of on you.
Wait, I just need to say this again. Like, I've enjoyed the last 2 episodes more than any episode.
We're
before.
more in Sex and the City territory than we've ever been.
Yeah, we are. And there's some exciting moments that we'll talk about, but
we're still also way outside of it.
Why? It makes me want to cry. Why have they made Miranda such an idiot? Why have they made her such like a cuck?
This show...
that is not who she is. I'm sorry, I keep talking about it, but that is not Miranda. Miranda is not like a fucking pushover. I mean, she kind of was a little, but like, she's like a fucking ball busting, like sour, cynical, hardened lawyer who's like, has like a deep, soft shell at her heart, but has a rocky exterior. Where the fuck is that Miranda?
Sorry, doll, but maybe she's been a soft shell crab this entire time.
I mean, no, she wasn't. That was the beauty of Miranda, is that she was a soft shell crab. She just had a very hard exterior. And but she wasn't like a fucking imbecile. Like,
she's Nana.
Oh, she just makes me sad.
Someone I think wrote about this, or I read it somewhere. So I don't want to take credit for this take, but I feel like I did read this somewhere. But they pointed out that the show is about aging and dying, and now I can't unsee it. And like, and just like that, it's just about getting old and having a sucky elderly existence and dying. Literally, like, think about it. Big's dead. Carrie
has a new hip.
Hasn't fucked in weeks.
Carrie, by the way, her game.
We'll get into her, but Miranda is literally like has early stage Alzheimer's. Steve also Alzheimer's. Brady incel. Charlotte teetering on the ledge at any given moment, but seemingly still keeping it together. Samantha living, laughing, loving elsewhere, taking 2-minute phone calls and banking. LTW has no choice but to serve cunt. Seema also serving cunt every day of the week. Naya's bouncing back.
She's bouncing.
But she's also... she's also in her 40s.
I'm also question mark on Naya, but Naya at least is getting dick, so I'm like, good for her.
She's getting dick down.
She's getting fucking dick down.
She's no longer going truly needing like 4 points restraint in the insane asylum.
Naya is on the loose, but we'll get to that. But it's a very...
Anthony in true gay hell. Like, everyone's getting old, and I'm like, the messaging around getting old is scaring me, because I'm like, do you literally get into your 50s and become a grandmother, and like your life is no longer fun and you're not fulfilled by anything and everything loses meaning? You have to write death seashells
if you're a woman.
No, but I'm like, is this what they're trying to say? Like, what the takeaway here is not escapism. It's not like
it's a brutalist
aging fabulously. It's not like 80 for Brady, where you still have friends and you go to a football game, or even like book club where you get dicked down
by Andy
your kids
Garcia.
Are trying to like lock you up, but you somehow escape, and then you get like a hot boyfriend. But this is like a different, like, is this real?
You know what this is? To me, the show is End of Empire. This is the fall of America. Like, we were in like the twilight of America, I think, and this is like
This is late stage America before
Late
the
stage-
true coups start.
Late stage like the latest stage capitalism, where it's like, why, like,
Women that have everything they've ever wanted aren't happy.
just no, it feels like just like the state of our everything right now. It's not even just about women. It's just like
Confusing, death,
it's just confusion, kind of uncanniness, and like
bad taste,
having bad taste,
bad jokes,
and also just being like, oh,
and JD.
JDS is the end of Empire.
Che Diaz is like one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
But there's a darkness to it that's like, it's like a brutal, it's like, it's not escapism. It's
not fun or funny.
It's not poignant. I mean, it is poignant, but it's also like not like,
even like I would say Sex and the City at its best was like still really darkly funny. Like the best parts of Sex and the City were not when people were like living happily ever after or like winning. It was like when they were, yeah, but it still was like, at least you get to like have brunch with your girlies.
No, in Sex and the City, it was like there was a bittersweetness to it that was like very universal. There was a melancholy about the show, I think, but that's like kind of New York.
I'm confused about what
I don't know.
this version of human existence is like. I don't think that this is reflective of like how people in their 50s feel, but if it is, I'm like about to go to Switzerland into a suicide pod because like I don't know what to make of it. I need our older listeners. I want to be put down like a dog, but like,
hey, our old ass
old listeners, do you feel like this reflects your experience? I don't think it does because even our older than like 40 plus listeners
are thriving,
are like having fun and loving life, getting loads and like commenting on the Patreon. I think most people like love being a little older. Well, not most people, but a lot of people are like into it. Like, I'm sorry, Carrie, you have no reason to be such a little sad. I thought you were talking to me for a second. Carrie, I'm like, I have to confront you right now.
Carrie is okay. So they arrive. Miranda, it's Halloween. She's carving a pumpkin at like 7 a.m. I'm like, do less. This is why your son is an incel. You've mummied him too much. Let him carve a fucking pumpkin. Let him make some breakfast. Let him grab a Starbucks egg bite.
Yeah, just put money on his Starbucks card and call it a day.
But she and Carrie are going to the parent, like PTA school function Halloween party for all the parents. That's being held, I think, at Central Park. In like that lake house.
Okay, you know what my thought is like, I follow Candace Bushnell on Instagram and she's still fucking loving life. So like...
Also, Candace Bushnell is trolling the show a little.
I love it. I love it. She's Team Darren Star through and through, and honestly, I have to say, I am as well.
She tweeted, "I just still can't get over her going. I really was craving me some JT."
I love her going. I love Jay, and I'll die on that hill. Thoughts? Knowing that it would incite a riot.
She really is Carrie.
She's fucking cool.
She's Carrie, right? That was her.
She's the writer of Sex and the City.
No, I know, but like was she more like Samantha or Carrie?
Carrie wasn't even like Carrie. Sex and the City was actually really dark. Like it was actually like a sad book that made me depressed when I read it. It felt more like a Brett, but in a good way. Like it. Well, in a good and bad way, because at the time
Pulpy.
I was thinking like, ooh, just my girls in the streets. And then I read it and it felt way more in tone like a Bret Easton Ellis version of these women's lives. Like Carrie is at one point like crying drunk in like an alley, like begging Big to stay with it. Like Carrie's a mess. And I was like, okay, I have to circle back to this later. I can't handle this right now in this moment of my life. But like Candace is still fabulous.
Oh, she's so glam.
Like, I believe that when you, in any stage of life, you're going to be frustrated about things.
Luann's getting dick.
Yeah. Sonia seems happy.
Yeah, they're all having fun.
I know. That's a thing, too. I'm like, my Real Housewives, they live dark lives, but they're fun.
Vicky's pushing 70. And
Vicky is literally never not with a dick in her vagina.
She always has a man lockdown, and she's always drunk as hell.
Yeah.
She is living her life.
She's touring with the Tres Amigas. So, okay, things are fine.
They're just making it.
They're
doing something. But let's see.
It's
Carrie, I actually kind of like this outfit.
Her Halloween Helen Gurley Brown.
That was
it was cute. I like when she goes, "Have you ever seen me with bows in my hair?" And she was like, "You wore something like an apron yesterday or something." I like it when they read Carrie. Read her to filth, Miranda.
Charlotte, I did as an American stan.
I was really happy for you and only you in this moment.
It was like the writers of this definitely are like American heads, and I'm like, I see you. I felt them, and I was like, thank you for seeing me and the other like 12 people that are obsessed with the Americans.
You needed this.
I needed this, and they did look like Elizabeth and Philip.
I love that
burgundy.
I said this one's for Carrie O'Donnell. I go.
So they're dressed as Elizabeth and Philip Jennings from the Americans, aka Carrie Russell and Matthew Rhys, and I was into it. And they do make a joke. They're like, literally no one knows who we are, and they're like, well, that's what you got.
That was really niche, but I liked it.
Anthony's like tearing up the floor as the devil with LTW, who looked fab.
Fierce.
Bride of Frankenstein.
As per usual.
And Anthony's tearing, and everyone's like, go gay, go gay. He's the only gay man. And he goes up to this hot...
They said, we need one sexless gay man to come to this PTA thing. And they said, we'll call Anthony. He's always down.
I'm like, Anthony, you would be at a gay party.
Or hosting like a dinner. Like...
Or an orgy.
And
I'm just like...
A PTA dance?
I feel like Anthony would have like a lot of gay friends.
He's a gay clown now.
Yeah. Anyway,
the outlook on women and gays aging on this show is really like... misogynistic and homophobic.
So he goes over and he finds like this hot ass man dressed like a Roman soldier who's like shirtless. I follow him on Instagram. He's a Broadway star.
They've mutually JO'd at the gym before.
And then he's like, remember me? I like this. He was like, you might recognize my hand surrounded by steam. That was funny. And then the guy goes, this is my wife. And Anthony's like, classic.
Yeah, that was funny. And
yeah, I like that was real.
All the ladies decide that they need to go hit up a hotel bar and start drinking, trolling for dick.
So Naya, Carrie, and Seema are going to head to this hotel bar.
Was Seema at Halloween?
Yeah. She said, everyone keeps asking me if I'm Padlo Lakshmi. That was funny.
But why, pray tell?
And why is Nia Wallace there? Nia Wallace is not. She's friends with Miranda. I'm like,
this is again the world of the show is like everyone will go to the PTA Halloween.
I feel like Nia Wallace, she lives in Brooklyn. Like she would have like a cool group of friends that doesn't like. I just feel like she would be like,
Nia Wallace's existence. She has not known a single friend except her estranged husband for her entire life, and she's student. Just now. Yeah, and her barely even knows her students, but the one person she could connect with, Miranda. And now her friends are like, where's Naya? We haven't seen her in weeks. We haven't seen Naya in years. Suddenly she's just hanging out with these white women all the time.
So Seema's like, yeah, we gotta go get some cock. We have to get some cock.
We have to go to the hotel bars, which I've heard that is the spot to troll for dick.
Yeah, I mean, hotel bars are sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Herb is very upset with LCW that she was tearing up the dance floor, and she's like, he's gay. Anthony is gay. And he goes, yeah, but the press might not see that, or people posting on social media might see you, the wife of a candidate for controller of the city. And she's like, okay, he's a fucking faggot. No one's gonna care. And he's like, all right.
Also, like, who's paparazziing this PTA Halloween?
Probably a lot, apparently, in this world. I'm like, I don't care about this plotline.
No, I thought like the comptroller thing was like, when I was excited about that twist where he was going to run, I didn't also think down the line into the future of this now is like going to be a major plot point, and I didn't sign up for that.
Carrie, at the end, you see them all dancing, and she's dancing with a candy apple. Looks like a.
I was like, that's bold. You're eating a candy apple on the dance floor.
Yeah.
How's your jaw not? Like your bone density, I don't think can handle that, Miss Hip.
Miss Hip is tearing. She is laughing on the dance floor with a giant candy apple that looks like a head on it.
Didn't they also say like she's like, I don't know about going to a hotel bar of all places, and they were like, aren't you a sex columnist? You fucking frigid bitch.
Yeah, weren't you a whore in the 90s?
Weren't you spreading your cooch lips on the side of our bus? Yeah, they
Get
were
a
like,
boyfriend every week.
you better get your ass to this hotel
Get your
bar.
shit together,
I'm gonna
Carrie.
slap you silly.
Remember who you are. You are a fearsome modern woman.
Yeah, you're a fucking whore. So you better be at the bar tomorrow.
So
And she goes,
Charlotte,
I gotta eat an apple first.
Charlotte and Harry are watching The Americans, and then all of a sudden Rock comes running, and they go, Mom, Dad, I was at the skate park with my friends, and this guy came over to me and gave me his business card and wants me to be a model. And so Harry, of course, is like, Jeffrey Epstein.
He's like, you're gonna get trafficked.
And then they hand over the business card, and Charlotte is so excited because it's a Ralph Lauren model scout, which I like.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Rock is my favorite. I love
cool.
Rock's modeling storyline. I see Rock being a supermodel is
They're like an
genius level
genderqueer.
storytelling.
Yeah.
I think the haircut suits them, and I'm ready for this Rock, but there will only be one true Rock, and that's Raquel.
Yeah, but Rock is like, they're giving like Gen Z it, or like, I don't even know what.
Ralph Lauren seems like a very odd coupling, but you got to start somewhere. It's classic and a great foundation on which to build.
They're gonna be an it person.
Yeah.
And so Charlotte's, of course, goes right into momager mode, which I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, this is what we want to see.
Charlotte's the only one happy.
Maybe that's why her attitude is so jarring all the time, because she is so happy and everyone else is Ms.
Where's Lily?
Lily's, I don't know. She's applying for health insurance because she's 27 years old and on her parents' dole.
So
Lily's playing, she's busking.
Yeah.
In Times Square.
She's in Union Square.
Playing her keyboard.
So they're at the hotel bar. Seema and Naya and Carrie's in the middle of the bar looking with her coat on. I'm like, take your coat off.
She's acting as though
Grandmama.
She's a true still Alice in this moment.
She is grandmama. She's grandmother.
She's going, well, I never.
Well, I never. It's like, you are literally, you were in a slip dress on the bus looking amazing and like hot.
Is this what happens? Is you go from
sex columnist
whore to snore?
That's a good episode of title for the original.
Mm-hmm.
From whore to snore.
So Seema starts chatting up some gin ambassador. And then Naya also gets hit on. Naya's always getting hit on by the hottest dude.
The hottest guy in like the city.
Finally, yeah,
comes
every
over.
time that Naya is anywhere, the hottest man in the room
she's
flocks to
gorge.
her and is like, "What are you doing? Can I fuck you right now?"
And she's like, yeah, literally this man is like, it was like looking at the sun.
Yeah.
So he comes over, they fuck, and then Carrie is like, well, time to play Wordle. I was like, okay.
Good God,
Good
woman.
my God. Get your shit
Be a
together.
supportive friend. Can you be a wing woman for one hot second? So then Seema goes home with her man who has erectile dysfunction, which is like whatever, but instead of taking Viagra, he uses a penis pump.
That was very Samantha.
They're basically like, you are Miss Jones now.
You hear.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Have you pumped?
No.
Have you fucked a pump?
Have I fucked
like someone who's
No.
pump?
I've
Are gays penis pumping?
probably. Yeah, they're like gays put like some gays put like not weird, it's like a
gel?
saline or something in their dick to make it really big and like they comically large it's like a thing.
Like an injection?
Yeah. It's like it's like a fetish.
Before sex?
No, it's just to have all the time.
To have a Coke can dick?
It looks almost like a Tom of Finland, like insane
Bulge? I gotta look this up. I've never seen this before, and I thought I'd seen it all.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say? Saline dick?
Saline dick. Just look.
I'm gonna look.
Okay. I'm not misinformation king.
Google's trying to say it's explicit. I'm like, bitch, I know. Whoa. Oh. No. Carrie.
Right? It's real.
I mean, I've seen women do this to their pussies, but I've never seen.
What? Really?
Yeah.
They want their
pump 'em
pussies
up.
to be big?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
What? Let me see.
No, it was like a saline dick gone wrong.
It's like a thing. I think there's like a community of guys that like...
People love puffy genitals at times.
Mm-hmm.
So
anyway, so...
Seema is like, whatever, I gotta take what I can get in this economy and I'll fuck this penis pump dude.
Whoa.
Did you see what I... Some of these I'm like, it's... No, let me see.
That's a saline balls.
That seems dangerous.
Yeah.
Some of these men are playing with fire. So it goes.
Pay to play. So Seema's like, wow, this is an interesting moment I'm going to have.
This also is like, when you get old, do you just have to have like bad sex forever?
Yeah.
As a woman? They're basically like, once you hit 50, every guy will not be able to make you come.
That's the moral.
And now that I've watched the new Roni with Jenna Lyons, she kind of basically says the same thing where she's like, the great thing about being a lesbian is like everyone gets off.
Yeah. They know how to work it. She's cracked the code. What if you date Jenna Lyons?
I was like, I would.
She's so cool.
She's really cool.
So the next morning, Seema's like, hey, Carrie's walking through Chelsea, and Seema calls and she's like, hey, girl, I just got fucked. And Carrie's like, what? And then she tells her about the penis pump, and Carrie's so shocked, wearing like
she's wearing like booties. She's like a little Victorian princess. She stops right in the middle of the road. She goes, what?
And then she stops in the bike lane, a big no-no in New York, and she crashes into this guy who's this like kind of hot daddy who's really tall.
He's really sexy.
And he's like, don't stand in the fucking bike lane. And Carrie's like, oh, I just heard some news that really shook me to the core. I'm so sorry. And then it's like, he's this guy that was in an episode in like the original series where he's like kind of hitting on Charlotte.
And then I guess. Horlet.
And then he is like, I broke my wrist. And then Carrie's like, oh, God, I'll take you to an ER. Where's the first city med there? West City MD or whatever. And then
he should have sued her ass.
He's so rich. Isn't
Well,
he?
I forget.
So she goes, we got to go to the City MD over there. I saw the Olsen twins walk in there once, which is so funny because I can't imagine them doing anything.
Carrie
Let's go on by.
Her little tap dance of, ooh,
sorry.
I'll take you over there. Oh, I don't know. Come on. And so they go.
Sue me, sir? Daddy, are you going to sue me?
They go to the urgent care and she picks up on a few cues that leads her to believe that he's poor.
And gay.
A poor gay. And she goes, oh, this is so sad. This poor gay that I injured.
Well, first he's like, she's filling out his intake form because he can't write. And then she's like, emergency contact. He goes, oh yeah, my partner Bill. And then she goes, and then she says something that I'm like, no one has ever said this. She goes, oh, a partner. I see. And he goes, no, not like that. He's my business partner. He's like my best friend. I've never been married.
And then I was like,
so then Carrie's like, and then his car gets declined, and she goes,
She goes, ooh, this sad poor. I gotta take him some soups.
I'm like, Carrie, you have $100 million. You don't need anyone. Like, shut up. So then he breaks his wrist, and then Carrie's like, God, sir, let me make it up to you. Daddy, what can I do? Should I sing my song and dance? Should I take you out for lemonade? And he's just like...
She also, his partner's calling him, and he's like, fuck, the fucking deck. The deck is due. We have to print it out.
Partner's hot, too. I'm like, I'd fuck both.
I was more into...
I like both of them.
But they're like struggling to print out a deck, which I was like, no one prints. Don't you just email things?
And he goes, who are you with? Who's that bitch you're with? And then Carrie's like, oh no, I don't want to be in the crosshairs. I'm not the Yoko Ono of this app team. So they're like an app web team, and they've developed apps. So
so Carrie thinks this like poor biker man is just like down and out because his credit card gets declined. She's like, God, I've gone and broken this like struggling businessman, Willie Loman, death of a salesman's wrist, and I've got to go take him some soups and offer to type his deck out for him because his poor little wrist is broken. He's going to be on the streets in no time.
But then she goes to his place, and it's literally like the size of Grand Central Station.
Yeah, he has like more money than she does.
It's this insane loft, and she goes, oh, is this some sort of office or art emporium? And he goes, no, this is where I live. And she goes, really? Oh my God, I've never seen a place like this. It's like a train station. She's Liza Minnelli.
She is Liza.
So he's like, yeah, I'm like really rich. I've sold like 18 apps and my business partner and I are like multi-billionaires.
And she was like, now that's something I'd like to hear. Now Miss Bradshaw's a little wet all of a sudden.
Miss 90s is back. So she is like all excited. She's like, I thought I'd bring you soups. And he's like, but he's also like annoying and kind of nagging her a lot. And I'm like,
yeah, I was like, get
shut
it together,
up.
bitch.
I'm like, this is a nice, he's like, oh, you brought me soups because you can't. He's like, I know how to take care of myself. I'm like,
Could have
there's a
fooled
reason.
me.
There's a reason why you're not married.
Yeah. There's a reason why you
Old
fell
ass.
off your stupid little bike.
Be nice to this woman. She's
You
bringing you soups.
weak-wristed bitch.
She brought you soups from Zabar.
So she's like, let me type your little report. And so they start.
She takes out a typewriter. And then he's like,
one thing leads to another, and before you know it, they're sucking face.
he like immediately wraps one of his.
I was like, this is crazy. Is this how the shit works?
Yeah, he just grabs her wrist and he goes, tiny wrists.
And she goes, ooh, I know.
And then they make out.
That is a sexy thing. If a man told me I had tiny wrists, I'd suck him off right then and there.
Carrie goes, she takes her little fastener off and goes,
She pulls her little veil back. He goes,
oh, she takes her
she
teapot.
just fucking chokes on his dong.
And then as she's choking on it, she's going, typing. She's going. So meanwhile, we head on over and Che and
His partner comes in.
then he's like, don't mind me, my God.
He goes, let me get in on this action.
He goes, yeah, let me. So he's
Carrie's like, I literally got Eiffel Towered by 2 men today.
that'd be
How's
great.
that?
I'd love that.
How's that for the whore you used to know in the 90s? She says, and pulls down her shirt and goes, Seema. And Seema goes,
Seema-
I love it, girl. She
Seema,
goes,
just
I'm
called her
turned on. Let me
Seema.
I got a vibrate.
Sheeter. Seema's like,
Seema
she's
should
like,
change her name to Sheena.
oh my God, what if they did like a low timber? What if they were like, this November is called Whorevember, and we're all going to
They need to.
have a competition who can get the most dick.
They
in 1
should.
month. That'd be great. So then we cut on over to, so yeah, the guy's like,
He's like, get the fuck out of here, you whore. You're going to ruin our entire lives. We have the deck.
and Carrie's like,
And she's like, okay. Yes, sir.
puts her little beret back on and
She dabs her lips and then she
puts-
scurries on out of there.
She takes out her compact
cube
and
out
takes
of
her
her
powder and goes, hold on, sir. And then she goes, gotta get to 42nd Street. And then goes,
Does anyone know the way to Grand Central Station?
she gotta put some rouge on first. It's a nighttime in New York City.
Do you have a water closet? Pray tell. I gotta rouge these lips.
She goes, okay, see you later. Boop, 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 boop. I gotta take this. I take a Grand Central back to Toledo, Ohio. So then we cut on over to. She goes, I'll take my tiny wrists and go. She literally says that.
I love that.
So then we cut on over to Che and Miranda at some swanky Indian restaurant. And Che is like, my pilot's getting focus group tomorrow. And Miranda, who's an attorney, goes, what's a focus group?
But first Miranda's like, woo,
And
this
Che-
is spicy. It's too spicy for me. And like,
and then Che's like, they're like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, it woke me up. Miranda's being broken down slowly by Che. Che's like,
chase it.
they're sleep depriving.
Abusive.
They are. Sorry, I'm saying it.
They're
They're a
wreaking havoc.
narcissistic partner and they're toxic.
Miranda's also, I'm like,
No boundaries. Everything is on their time, Che time. And Miranda is a 60-plus woman and mother of
this
an
is elder
incel.
abuse.
A accomplished Harvard graduate lawyer who's
Columbia and Harvard Law.
like, I'm sorry, let the woman sleep and don't stop having little like, oh yeah, there's this one part where Che's having a drug party at like 4 a.m.
No, Che's invited a bunch of her gamer friends over and they're up all night gaming and doing drugs and partying.
And they come into the room. First of all, Miranda hit the table when she first woke up and Che was like, fuck you! Get out of my fucking room!
You bitch!
You fucking bitch!
What are you doing up this early in the morning, bitch?
And then Che, they walk right into the dresser too. And I'm like,
they go like, boo, 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 boo. Sorry, doll.
So they're out to dinner and Che's like, sorry, you're sleep deprived, but I got a focus group tomorrow. And then Miranda's like, what's a focus group? And they're like, it's a thing where they round up a bunch of randos from Times Square and have them watch my pilot and tell me if it's bad or not.
I was like, spoiler alert, it's going to be horrible.
And Miranda's like, God golly, Che, you just amaze me every day. And then Che's like, why don't you wipe that curry off your lips. You're going to eat my pussy later. I can't have curry lingus.
I was like, this relationship is my hell. I was like, is this what it's like? This is what they're saying it's like if you're a late in life les. Things are looking.
They go, wipe that spice off your lips. Hey,
Nana. Wipe that fucking spice off your dirty little mouth.
You gotta eat my
You're gonna eat me out later.
And Miranda goes, oh, sorry, Che. So
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, fuck. She didn't say that.
Take that out now.
No.
She goes,
yes, yes, them. What's the non-binary version of yes?
MX?
Yes,
Migs.
Migs. Not Migs.
Take that out. Take that out too, Ness. I think it's just we'll just take this all out.
Okay.
So then we head on over to the modeling shoot for Rock's Ralph Lauren moment. And it's very like,
you call her Mock?
Mock Goldblatt is jumping up on a trampoline, very like
on a green screen.
Cute.
Char walks Rock into the room, and then Char's like, I love Ralph Lauren. As a teen model myself, it was always the brand I modeled for when I was a teen model.
And the person's like, get the fuck out of my face.
She's like, shut up, old
lady.
Shut up,
you old.
Rock,
wait, by the way, there's also a moment earlier where Carrie and Miranda... Naya offers Miranda a room in her place. And so Carrie and Miranda are like thrifting for like a yard sale bed. And Miranda goes, it's kind of a small room, so I have to do a single bed. I'm like, oh my God. They're looking for a single...
Is Steve gonna just sue her for all she's fucking worth? Doesn't she have a prenup? Does she have a retirement account? What's going on?
It hasn't worked since 2012.
Did she make some good investments? Did she retired early? I mean, she's not 60.
I'm unclear.
I need to know the investment portfolio. I'm like, why is this woman like...
Maybe she owned her own firm for a period and the interim we didn't know, and then COVID came and she was like, gotta close
decimated
down.
Her fucking savings.
Miranda is broke and she's having to look for like a twin bed, a trundle bed.
She's buying like a used mattress. It was like, this is a 911, Carrie.
But Carrie's like,
girl, not my problem.
So
she's like, I have literally 200 mil in the bank.
I'm good.
I don't like that.
And I'm wearing a teapot on my head right now. So then Harry comes in wearing the disguise again to like make sure no one's like sex trafficking Rock. And it's like weird. And Charlotte's like, get out of here, you freak.
I did like when he was like, are there going to be like perverts around, like sick sex stuff? And the man at the photo shoot was like, this is a family shoot.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. But I was also like, this is not
strange.
real and it's weird.
So the focus group happens and everyone loves Tony Danza and Che and their team are watching behind the glass. And no one is a fan of Che.
One non-binary viewer goes in on Che and then like a waterfall, everyone else chimes in and they're like, we fucking hate Che Diaz. They suck ass. They must be stopped.
The non-binary person says that this is a Che is a detriment to the community, basically.
Which they're not wrong.
And Che, it's the first time Che's ever had a bad review in their life, in their career as a comedian.
I love like this moment where people are trying to get like meta about all the Che Diaz backlash.
Yeah.
But it's also like, this is true. They were the worst and continue to be the worst. And we must stop at nothing.
So back at home, Che's self-medicating.
And Che's pilot, is it totally canceled? I think it's going to work out for Che. It's my gut feeling. But
Che is like having a dark night of the soul, and Miranda's busy making food. Trying to be really good for Che. I'm your good girl. And then Miranda goes...
I feel like Che beats Miranda behind the scenes.
She goes, fuck the studios. They can eat shit and die. And then Che goes, stop saying everyone should eat shit. It's unbecoming.
Che is just like drowning their sorrows in cannabis.
But also everything, Miranda's just trying to be supportive.
And Che's like, the pilot's probably not happening. How am I going to afford this apartment? I was like, this is a huge red flag that someone would go all in and overspend money on apartment rent in Hudson Yards when they haven't even had their like pilot deal get made. I was like, smart Miranda Hobbs, attorney at law, would have recognized those like financial red flags, because I was like, this is truly the next step is Che's going to be like, move in with me, baby, pay my rent.
I think Miranda's going to like walk into like ABC in New York and just blow up the lobby with herself.
Miranda's going to detonate the vest.
She's going to detonate the vest. She's so mad. And then Miranda goes, I don't know, baby. Why don't you make another show? And then Che's like, shut the fuck up.
Che's like, I'm fucking 46. This is my last chance.
They're like, it took me 46 years to figure out who the fuck I was. And now look at me, washed up in a nice apartment, a $2 million apartment in Hudson Yards with some bitch of a partner.
Did Che spend all their money?
I think they did. And then Miranda's like, oh, honey, I didn't mean to make you mad. Can I hold you? And then Che goes, get out of here. They go,
I need a fucking break.
I need a fucking break from you. I'm like, Miranda, this person is love and light to them. Let them do their thing. But like, they are not someone that there's no room for two people in Che's world. It's Che's world or bust.
They've tried to rope you into like a threesome against your will.
No, it's like this.
You've gone to LA.
Yeah, this person clearly is like, it's either my way or the highway, which there are some people that that's just how they are. You can't change them. And it's like, that's fine for them. But like, this clearly is not who you are. So why don't you go like date some other non-binary person or lesbian that's like more willing to integrate you into their life and more willing to integrate themselves into your life. Why doesn't Che become a step parent figure? Like, why doesn't Che get to know Brady?
Because Che doesn't care. I think that's where it's going now.
Care. But why would they spend so much time like making us try to care about this person and then be like, they suck?
I think they're trying to make them into like a character on the show that's like an iconic person that someone had a relationship with, but it just isn't hitting because the character of Che Diaz is so awful and was like served as like not awful at the front. It's just weird, but I do think that they're gonna break up eventually.
But like Big and Aiden, like we never got them like alone. We always saw them through Carrie. Like we didn't have any moments of like Aiden at work.
I sincerely pray that we don't follow Che Diaz after they and Miranda stop munching each other's boxes. I hope that we have like a conscious uncoupling from Che and they go on to bigger and better things, but we're looped out of their life journey.
So they basically are like, get the hell out of my house for a week. I need to be alone and smoke weed and like play games with my weird friends. And then
play like Legends of Zelda on my Nintendo Switch.
And Miranda's like, oh, okay. I'll go live on a mattress on the floor.
Do you think though that Che, or no, sorry. Just can't get me enough of that Che Diaz. Do you think that Miranda is going to end up getting with Nia Wallace because now they live together? Do you think that's where this is going? Or do you think Nia and Miranda are just going to be two single ladies out on the fucking
I think they're just friends. I think that would be like, God, everyone's everyone's queer.
But that seemed like where it was going to go at first.
I think they're just friends.
Okay.
I think they're just like,
I think it'll be good for them to live together.
yeah, I think they'll be like
It'll be good for Miranda to live in a closet.
yeah. She's gonna be literally like Harry Potter under the stairs. But it's like Che is just such a repellent, like toxic narcissist.
There's nothing I love more than watching Che Diaz get taken down. And I don't.
They go, this call was coming from inside the house by my own queer community. And it's
I was like, well, you should take note of that because you alienated them. Not even your own queer allies want anything to do with you.
Miranda should date that person, that cool
honestly,
ass person from Bushwick.
She should.
They had shit together.
Yeah, and they were actually funny.
And they said, how could Che afford this nice apartment in Bushwick in the show? And I was like, true.
Amen.
And then Carrie at the end realizes George is just, she goes, George, I think you're cool, but you're already married to your business partner.
Yeah, because his business, I'm also like, why is he taking the call all the time?
He's like in a codependent relationship with his brother. So then Carrie's
Carrie's about to get her fuck on with old broken wrist, and then his partner calls him again and just starts like prattling away on FaceTime, and then suddenly wrist has to go work on the fucking deck.
And Carrie's like, this isn't gonna work.
Their deck drama is like, don't you guys have an assistant?
Carrie goes, I don't know what a deck is.
I don't know what a deck is.
Is that a radio show?
Back in my day, there was only one deck, the poop deck of the Titanic. And if you... Carrie's vaudeville.
She is. Back in my deck, I had to perform on 8 decks. All the poop decks of the Queen Mary. She was vaudevilling.
The Queen Mary's Virgin Trip.
Her mom and her were a famous vaudeville act in the New York harbor.
They were. And Carrie goes, I only got 1 pence for that performance, but I'm going to shake my tail feather over to downtown and see if I can get struck up
2 shillings for me. So next week, we'll see it could be very well the next year. It could be New Year's Eve.
I wanted them to flash forward to like 2028.
Yeah.
What else happened in this episode? Oh, Seema's penis pump guy balked when she decided to use a vibrator in the bedroom.
He's mad that she wants to get herself off.
He said that's not cool.
Sorry, pump.
Are penis pumps like a real thing that people use?
Yeah. Cock rings, penis pumps.
Well, yeah, obviously a cock ring.
Well, I'm just saying, like they're sort of a thing.
Okay.
Well, let us know what you think. Let us know if you've ever used a penis pump.
Yeah, are you using penis pumps? Do you hear people using them?
Physically
like as
hear
like
them?
just as I'm talking about just as a regular sex move to get
no judgment
to get jacked up and ready to fuck. Like that's what I was wondering, because I was like, is there a reason this man doesn't take Viagra and pumps instead? And are people pumping outside of just like a kink pump?
Let us know.
Let us know. Dolls, huge news.
Have you ever wanted to be at a rave with Lara and me? The answer is, I hope. Yes.
You're in luck because we are hosting a rave.
A real life rave in Los Angeles on August 2nd at El Cid on Sunset. It's a very famous venue. And the rave is by Real House Raves. It's a cool company that puts these events on. And it's been a Vanderpump series of dance parties. So it's a Vanderpump Rules themed rave.
Yeah, which, what a mashup. We're going to be hosting it. Tickets are on sale now. So if you missed out on getting to see us at Dynasty Typewriter, you can actually come rave with us on August 2nd.
10 to 2 a.m. It's going to be full of, we'll be doing some bits, some crowd work. There's an arsenal of talented DJs that will be playing the tunes that will bring us into the dark night. So it's a Scandival theme rave. So come... Guys,
come rave
it's a
with
no-brainer.
us. Yeah.
Scandival rave, like it's unbelievable.
And also I just have to shout out the Sex Unique podcast YouTube. Things are popping off there right now.
I saw.
There's multiple videos that went up this week. We're like caught up to date on the And Just Like That episodes. And yeah, there's just like plenty of video content. People are enjoying.
View count's going up.
Putting on the videos while they go about their day, maybe eating dinner. If you want to watch us live and engage with the podcast in that way, you can do so. Go to Sex Unique Podcast on YouTube.
So hang tight.
And love and light. Bye.